So we're here at Lorna's house and we're doing an experiment with seeds. She wants to try potting up starting some seeds indoors under lights. And then we'll also try the outdoor winter sowing method. So she's planting mostly flowers today, some edibles. And she's got these reusing the containers for various vegetables and things. And also the trays from the meats from the store. So it's a good way to reuse and recycle. And of course, we're using our milk jugs for winter sowing. And what kind of soil mix are you using today? You got
seedling starter mix.
Seedling starter mix. So it's just
co-op.
peat, perlite, and vermiculite. So it's no nutrients, just the soil, like soil medium, I guess is what it's called, right? So we can just get that seed starting without any nutrients.
And these are seeds that I purchased last year and planted some, but they all keep coming back in the garden. So they seed themselves in the garden. But so those ones we can do as winter sowing.
Yeah.
The ones that they come up much later.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are like an early start. But that's nasturtiums.
Yay. And then what else are you going to sow today?
I've got Cosmos.
Cosmos?
From Dr.
Bonnie Henry's Cosmos?
Yeah. My neighbor gave me these last year. There's so many seeds.
Yeah.
And so they're all a year old, these seeds.
So are you going to put them a little denser then, just in case, for germination? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think she also has lupins on the go and maybe some sweet peas that we'll plant today too.
But I think it's a good idea to definitely put the sweet peas in the winter sowing.
Yeah.
Because they
like that cold stratification.
And they do get too leggy when you do them under the lights.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I have lavataria too, which these are seeds that I saved from last year, and I don't think I have a package with them. The lavataria are beautiful,
and they're edible too. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, great.
But we want to let's do just these 3 today.
Yep.
And then we'll do 3 in the
winter sowing jugs? Yeah. Okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds great. We're going to experiment to see how they grow inside versus out.
But this room is kept pretty cool.
Yeah, so it'll probably do well.
I don't turn the heat on. I just close the door so it doesn't get... Okay, so we need to cover those up a little bit. Nasturtiums like to be well covered.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, they're not,
well, they are a bigger seed too, aren't they? And then probably not so much on the Cosmos, hey, because they're so tiny. Yeah. Well, actually, the lavataria seeds are really tiny.
And I saved them.
That's amazing.
Very proud of. Okay. But they're so pretty. And they're really good cut flowers too, but you say they're edible,
Yeah, well, they're just beautiful flowers, really.
Oh, I'm just going to do lupins.
You have to get another container.
Well.
Or you could try the lupins in the winter sowing too, because I think they like cold stratification, don't they?
Yeah. I went to the dentist once and they had lupins. So we could do half and half though.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So apparently with the winter sowing, as long as our nights are still cool, we can winter sow. That's kind of the rule of thumb, is that once the nights get warmer, which will be a long time for us, that we can continue to winter sow these jugs.
Well, let's do this with lupins, eh?
Yeah.
Should we do more something besides lupins? They're pretty big seeds.
Yeah, I haven't seeded 2 different kinds, and I've seeded 2 different varieties of the same thing in a jug, but I've never done different seeds because I don't know what the growth pattern of each might be different.
Well, I'm the kind of gardener that said, who cares?
Who cares?
Let's just plant the seeds.
And Lorna does have a beautiful garden, and we'll probably put a clip on this video of her summer garden, because we do have some pictures of her gorgeous flower gardens.
Okay, so I'm putting the marker and leads, and then we'll do something else. Should we put sweet peas there?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Eh?
Yeah.
Who cares?
You want to experiment? Why not? Let's do it.
Oops. There they go. They're nice big seeds too, so.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed last night thinking about where I can plant the seeds, because you want them to climb on something. And I don't have a lot of sunlight. Oh, look at that. So many beautiful seeds.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, lots of them.
Doesn't it just blow your mind? Like that seeds can, like everything they need to know about becoming a sweet pea is all in this little thing.
It's quite amazing, isn't it?
Know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I read somewhere about how do you think the seed feels when suddenly it gets sun and moist and it splits apart and I'm changing. Like I wonder if the seeds feel afraid.
Yeah, maybe. Never thought of that, actually.
Okay.
So we got those.
Yeah. And I got to put sweet peas on that.
On your little sign.
Yeah. These signs I made years ago from a blind that I had a slatted blind.
So these signs. So look at
cut
these
them all up and
blind, like from the slatted blind. That's a great idea, isn't it? Way to recycle. I love it when we recycle in the garden. There's so many ways to do it.
Okay. Now we need to put water on this. Okay?
Yes.
And water on these. This has been covered. This one.
That has not been covered yet. Yeah.
Keep me on track here, Leah.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we're covering the seeds. We're going to give them a good water. She's going to put these ones under the lights, and then we're going to tape up the winter sowing jug after it's been moistened, and put it outside in the shade until it germinates. And once it's germinated, then it will go into a sunny spot until it gets its first true leaves, and then ready to transplant out.
Well, I'm wondering if, now what did I put here?
Oh, that was sweet. Oh, no, that was nasturtium.
Okay, right. See, you can't wait a minute. It's gone.
And just so everybody knows, we did cut this jug.
We're going to do another one.
Cut it up, yeah. And then we put the holes in the bottom and a few in the sides down here, just in case there's water logging. And then we put a coffee filter, like this, into the very bottom, so that the soil stays in and the slugs stay out, is the plan.
Well, with these, I think I'll, like, I'm not even going to turn the lights on until they start to sprout.
Yeah.
You think? Because I don't want them as leggy as they were last year.
Yeah, well, if in cool room and grow lights down as low as they are when they start to sprout should work, I would think.
I'll have to water those. Now that's ready to be watered too.
Yeah.
Now, so we're going to make a, that's the insertion sheet. Put it on the ground. Who cares?
I love it.
Okay. Now, I haven't done the lupin in here, and I want to.
Okay.
So I'll do that later. We're going to cut this so you can somehow how to do it.
Yeah. Did I give you an X-Acto there? Yeah, there it is. So now she's going to show you how we cut these jugs.
First, you put holes in the bottom.
Yeah. And if you just put your knife in and twist like you're doing,
not too far,
then it will kind of open up a little hole. Yeah. because we know how much rain we get here. So we have to be prepared, and then a few in the side just to ensure that we're not.
I think the heavy duty rains are over though.
Yeah, well, let's hope, hey? Although we never know. So I've heard that people can use a glue gun with no glue in it to melt the holes into the bottom. You can use a drill. You can, I mean, there's so many ways to do it, but I find the X-Acto is just handy and easy because we always just have one around. Right, yeah.
And then you begin the cutting.
Yeah. So she's leaving a lot of space so that we can add lots of soil. Like, for instance, if we were growing carrots, you'd want to have lots, or even like something like cilantro that has that long taproot, or celery. Celery I've planted winter sow, parsley, yeah. All those yummy vegetables that like a little extra space. And then once we're ready to transplant, we'll have to do another video so we can see how we transplant the hunk of seeds, is what it's called.
And we'll be able to see which has done what.
Yeah, right? That's right.
There's a coffee filter.
Yep.
Is this,
So you've got a little lever there. Here you go. Filling it up with the soil.
I think because my garden's so small, I don't need that many plants, so I think I'm going to put 2 different kinds in.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares?
But I find it hard if I get too many seedlings. I can't kill them.
I know.
I want them all to grow.
Well, the hope is that we can all share. Because I know there's a lot of, like, I haven't planted any lavateria. I'd love to get some of that.
Well,
just because they are so lovely and beautiful.
So we're going to put lavateria here. Where's my little package of lavateria seeds?
Oh,
here they are.
There we go. Do you know if this lavateria, does it like to have that cold time as well? Or
I've never let it plant itself outside, or it's never been very successful. I think the mice and the birds eat the seeds.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I always save them because they're easy enough to save.
Right.
And
so that's another thing I like about these jugs is that you have that hole in the top, but once we tape up the jug, there's really not much space for anything to get in, like a rat or a mouse or a slug or whatever. I mean, I'm sure a baby something or other could get in the top, but even climbing up the jug might be challenging. Dare. Yeah. No way.
So I put all lavateria in there because you want some.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Easy peasy. Look at
Put
that.
the date. What's the date?
03/10.
Someone's birthday, I know.
So fast.
Okay.
Look at, so that was 13 minutes and you sowed all those seeds.
Woohoo!
Yay. So now she is watering the jugs. So you can do this 2 ways. Like, you can pre-moisten and then sow the seeds, which is usually what I do because...
Yes, and I wish I had done that.
Yeah, because then the seeds are kind of floating around a little bit, although most of those seeds are big enough, they'll be able to handle it. And you want to make sure that you water it enough that you really shouldn't have to water it again unless it's a super, super dry, which we don't tend to have here. So that's the only thing you want to really watch, is to be sure that they stay moist well before they germinate, right, or even after they germinate. So just closing them up. And we're going to tape them. So she's taping it up now. We get it doesn't have to be perfect. Just as long, handle. Yeah, want it just enough to get it covered, and you can always just kind of pat it down, and sometimes you have to wipe down the side of the jug if it got too moist. because then the tape won't stick. So you can use duct tape, and I also use that red tuck tape. That works really well.
Oh.
We're finishing the taping here. The tape broke off, so we had to stop for a moment. Blooper video, no. And she's actually labeled inside, but sometimes you can also write on the outside, although it does fade. It's sometimes I think having a few different labels is good, especially when it's outside, because, you know, the sun can bleach it or...
And the Sharpie is supposed to be permanent, and it really isn't.
No, it's not. I mean, it definitely fades. Yeah. Yeah, so now it's all sealed up with just the hole in the top. You have to make sure you keep the cap off. And just periodically check on them to make sure that when they germinate, you're putting them out in the sunny spot. Yay! And
well,
then
let's water these guys.
Water these guys
but
too.
I'm not going to turn the lights on these until they start to sprout.
Yeah.
Would that be? It's cool enough back here.
Yeah. And she's watering with well water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the creek.
From the creek.
So nasturtiums. Back there. And I come in and check on them all the time.
I'm sure in a cool room you probably don't have to water as much as if it was in the main room, right?
Sometimes I put the, once they sprout too, I take them to the south window in the house here.
Oh yes, I've seen that, yeah.
But it's the heater is right underneath it, so it sometimes gets too hot.
Oh, right, yeah. Great.
And
that's our experiment for today.
Well, I was going to
Oh, right, you're going to do one more. That's right.
What was it that I didn't plant?
I think you wanted to plant the lupins, right? Or did you get the lupins?
I put the lupins, Lavateria, Cosmos. Did I put all the lupins in the jug?
Did you?
Oh.
Or do you have more somewhere? So this batch she pre-moistened before she's putting it into the container, which is obviously a little dirtier, but who doesn't mind getting their hands a little dirty, right?
And who cares?
Who cares? That's very fun. So we've planted the lupins in the jug, and now we're going to plant some of them in these containers here as well.
And we didn't plant any nasturtiums in the jugs. We planted sweet peas,
Lavateria. Yeah. We could do another one if you want. It's up to you.
Not very many little lupin seeds here.
You want to talk about the seeds when you're holding them?
Oh, well, always when I'm planting, I'm aware that the seeds are touching my hands and that I'm sending a lot of love and gratitude to the seeds and wish them well, give them strength, and I visualize, like, it's why it's nice to have a picture, because you visualize what the seeds are going to look like when they grow.
Yeah, those are multicolored lupins. Yeah. Beautiful.
I planted some last year and I got all purple ones. So who knows? I think the purple ones are probably the original.
Yes.
And so they're much stronger than...
Right. That's like those rainbow carrots. They grow at different rates. So often we think that, you know, when we're thinning them, we thin out the ones that aren't growing as fast, but it's just because they're not growing as fast as the other variety. But that's what I found anyway. All right, so these ones are going to go under here as well, onto one of these trays, and
better put another sign on them.
A sign so that we know what she grew or is growing. It was a great little setup.
Yeah, and I think it'll be an experiment to not put the lights on them until they sprout.
Yeah.
I like to start onions inside too.
Oh yeah,
my seeds.
They grow so slowly, don't they? Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this. We'll have to check in and see how they grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the, what do you call it? The sequel?
Yes. A sequel.
The sequel.
A seed quill.